Do you want to monetize your mind or your body? Would you like to monetize your mind or your body? One thing you will notice very quickly, and depending on the branch you choose, you will notice very quickly which which side of you is valued most. And again, it's not so much that they choose one over the other, they prioritize one over the other. So the Air Force, they're prioritizing your mind over your body. We have PT tests either every 6 months or once a year, depending on your score. But that's it. That's it. We're not waking up at 2 a.m. to do pull-ups and bear walks and ruck inside the mountains. And no, because the Air Force prioritizes your mind first and then your body, because you should be fit. You must be fit. You can't be 300 pounds, trying to deploy. No, you're a liability. But yeah, prioritization of your mind over your body, you see that in the Air Force. Navy, it seems to be kind of balanced, because again, depending on your career field, you might be working on a boat or a sub, or you might be landlocked. You might be working in a hospital. You might be embedded with a Marine unit. Who knows? Who knows? But again, you can kind of see from a distance, just thinking logically. And I have videos on how to think rationally and think logically. Actually, start with the problem or start with the end result and reverse engineer it, or start with a problem and how to actually approach that problem from a rational standpoint. I have videos on that, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But yeah, the Marines, they prioritize probably your body over your mind, because they don't expect you to be doing too much thinking depending on your rank. That's why one of the first things you see this in the boot camp videos where they say, "Scream I, sir, bro." Bro, when I give you a command, when I address you, scream I, sir. I, ma'am. There should not be no thought in between my command and your response. It should be immediate. And they expect that because of the nature of the branch. And especially in those cases where you're in certain situations where if you're in a deployed environment or you're outside the wire, you're engaged in a certain predicament or situation, they don't like a lot of lag between the command and the response and the reaction, because of the nature of that branch. And of course, you're given career field and MOS, what have you. So keep those things in mind, that the Army, again, you might have certain career fields that are balanced. But again, the Army, you get a gun first. You're a rifleman first. You're infantry first. And then you have a specialty attached to that. And of course, it gets even deeper when you're officer versus enlisted, because a lot of times enlisted, you're prioritizing followership over leadership. Your first, call to action would be to follow properly, to follow well. And then in certain cases, you're leading with those, under the given hierarchy, it spreads out and it goes down from there. I don't want to get into the weeds, because I'm trying to make this efficient and kind of concise in terms of getting a message across. That first of all, it starts with wisdom. Let's just get that out there. Wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to discern difference. A lot of decisions that a lot of people make, you see people unhappy in different branches, and especially long term, time tends to reveal the errors in your decision making. Can your decision stand up to scrutiny over time? I'm not saying you'll be perfect. I've made a ton of mistakes in my life where I regret a lot of things that I should have done that better. I should have asked more questions. I should have sought wisdom out. I should have sought mentorship out. But again, time will tell whether or not your decisions are quality, whether or not you rushed, whether or not you asked enough questions, whether you did your research or not. And choosing a branch, it's imperative you get that right. A lot of us are coming from the civilian world, and we're simply trying to leverage, the military benefits in terms of getting education or health benefits or just getting a steady paycheck. And we're not trying to go climb a mountain and snipe, the next world terrorist. Some people are just not built for that. Not everyone's built for special forces. Most people are not built for special forces, special operations. It's a select few, and even those people get weeded out for typically the one or two that actually make it through training. You have the Green Berets, you have the Delta Force rather, SEAL Team 6. Those are elite classes of humans that everyone should not be in that group. So the same thing applies to branches. Not everyone is built to be a Marine. I'm claustrophobic. I probably could overcome it, but I don't want to. I don't want to be stuck in the bowels of a ship hearing an engine roar for 6 months, for 3 months, for a month. All you hear is just this engine just going, and then you just no. I prefer the Air Force lifestyle. Of course, it's not the easiest branch to get into. A lot of people they're upset with the fact that it's not the easiest branch to get into. So choosing a branch is imperative you get that right. Do you want to monetize your mind, monetize your body? You're gonna have to monetize one of them. You see this all over the internet. All over the internet. Are you prized for what you offer with your mind, or are you prized with what you offer with your body? You know, some people are able to do both, but you will have to prioritize them. You will have to prioritize them. And an NFL quarterback is probably not doing, lectures at Harvard. They probably could do it. Let's say they have the credentials. Let's say they're a quarterback at Stanford, and, they went to the Ivy League or whatever, and then they decided to take their talents to the NFL. They probably could do both, but you will have to prioritize one. Kyle Murray, he had to choose NFL or baseball. Michael Jordan, NBA or baseball. You can only do one at a time. As talented as you are, Tebow, you can only choose one to do right now, to do first. And then you prioritize the rest of your day.